Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to GRCAM virtual conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Today, our theme is entitled Challenging Black Churches in America to Work with Us. So we want to be able to reach out to all the Black churches here in the United States of America. People that I would say that have small ministries. I prefer to work with those as opposed to those big mega churches, because a lot of those places, they have, I would say they kind of focus on just their own agendas. You know, that's why I call my organization Grassroots, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, because I want to focus on ordinary law-abiding citizens that's, I would say, working class, middle class, and so-called underclass. That's my focus. Also, I want to reach out to African immigrants that's here in the United States, from 10 Pacific African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I want to reach out to those African immigrant communities that's here in the United States to read my story first and foremost. And my story is The Solution for Black America: Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. It's available on Amazon for $6.25 as an ebook. So I'm challenging everyone that's on my friends list, everyone that's in my social groups, to read my ebook first and foremost, so that way you can get a better understanding about what this is all about. Also, I come before everyone with clean hands. I don't have any hidden agendas. I offer something that no Black leader has here in the United States of America, and that is a solution to solve all of our social problems here within the United States of America, if given a chance, and I can prove it. I want to focus on Chicago because that's where I'm at. And I host this virtual conference every last Saturday of the month. So that way everybody, would know about what we're doing. We're trying to raise funds for our film project. Those funds for the film project, that's going to help put me in a better position financially to purchase property here in Chicago, to hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and African immigrants, as well as purchase office equipment, because we're trying to move from behind the computer. That's all. Now, I was supposed to have my panel to come on today, but unfortunately, life happens. And so it is what it is. I thank God anyway for those persons that was interested in coming on my panel to talk about the topic. But, life goes on. I want people to please leave a comment in the comment section. Also, you can find all my links in the comment section below this video podcast. You can find the links to our GoFundMe page. That's what we're promoting. You can find the link to my author page on Amazon. If you're a United States citizen, you can donate through our PayPal page, and you can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3. And also I have the link to my virtual store. So that's all I have. I'm grateful for this opportunity to try to use this technology wisely, to broadcast my vision beyond small-minded individuals that just want to sit up here and complain about the white man and the government. Over here, we're solution-based. We don't get any funding from anyone. Our funding comes from the Black grassroots and also the global African family. I want people to understand that on this platform, we want to do is interactive. I don't want to just be sitting on here just running off at the mouth. I want to connect with my listeners. And if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. You could, you know, you can do audio, but still I want you to come on StreamYard because that's the technology that we're using now. Because my past shows, I used to use just audio, but now I'm trying to use video podcasts so people can see my guest speakers and all that. But since, you know, this is where I'm at, I don't have that physical building yet. And again, all I have is my revised book, my virtual store, and trying to do this film project. This is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group here in America. I want to build something positive for our Black youth, not just hiding behind a computer, just running off at the mouth. I have a Nehemiah assignment bigger than myself, but we got to get this thing popping here in Chicago first. So that way, and definitely connect with our African immigrants that's here in the United States for credibility. So that way we can start hosting our African tours. We're going to visit those 10 African nations that I just mentioned. Each African nation, we want to set up a chapter. So that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent to help solve our issues. In the United States of America, we want to solve issues here in America concerning Black people. In Africa, we want to solve African issues on the African continent. When we expand to the Caribbean islands, we want to solve issues in the Caribbeans and as well as in Brazil when we go there. All I can say to the as it pertains to this topic, I already mentioned this in my previous video podcast. So you know, you could watch that video and you could respond to it. But bottom line, I'm grateful to be able to use this technology to reach people. Again, I don't want to be doing this another 31 years. This is why I want to do the film project, so people can see me in action. I am going to hire a legitimate production company once we're able to raise the funds. Our goal is to raise $500,000. That way people can take us serious. I'm going to reach out to a Black production company and see if they're willing to work with me. If not, I'm going to reach out to an African production company and see will they work with me. If not, then I'll reach out to others. Bottom line, we're going to get this film project made once we raise the capital. Since 2010, I have been paying out of pocket for this business title because I believe in our youth. I believe that Black people can do better. And so over here in the grassroots community activist movement, we want to raise the bar, the standards. I know a lot of people, that's why I get a lot of pushback, not from white America, but from Black America, because a lot of people, they nowadays are narcissists. They all about themselves. They don't care about the community. They don't really care about Black youth. That's how it is. Why? Because a lot of Black Americans have become Americanized. Over here, we want to, like I say, we want to focus on solving issues starting here in the city of Chicago. Unfortunately, yes, I had to use social media to get my message out because a lot of people I run across, they're full of Willie Lynch. Now, once I start making money and once they see that this is going to be a successful Christian business, then everybody's going to want to come out the woodwork. But I don't operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. So everybody's going to, if they want to be a part of the grassroots community activist movement in terms of being members, we need to check your paperwork. And we want to separate ourselves from degenerates, urban terrorists, pedophiles, con artists, people that's in our racial group that doesn't mean our off-code Negroes, people that's in our racial group that don't mean our race any good. Now, we will offer a second chance program down the road for ex-offenders for nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals within the community. But again, even those persons, they will be checked at the front door, meaning that we're going to have mandatory orientation. People going to have to sign our community pledge and pass our criminal background check. And most of all, they're going to have to submit their thumbprint to be placed in our database. We're not going to have freeloaders. Everybody's going to have to chip in something. That's how we're going to progress. Since Black America has rejected my vision and plan for the past 31 years, my Christian business will be membership based, even in Africa and even in the Caribbean and in Brazil. That's just how it is. I want to connect with people that want more out of life. The grassroots community activist movement is just, at this point in time, it's just ideology. But we want to turn that ideology into a reality. And that's what I'm promoting, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. That's the title I've been paying for. That's the actually the vision that's going to manifest itself in the community, which is going to be a physical building. It's going to be a multi-purpose facility. And we're going to have different things, different functions. Bottom line, we want to meet the need of the community. All I can say is right now in America, the reason why things is getting worse and worse is because of this Willie Lynch mentality again within our culture. It shouldn't take nobody 31 years to start a business that's going to help improve the community. Yes, it's a lot of, I would say, yes, it's a lot of nonprofits that's already out there, but a lot of them are getting their funding from the white supremacist financial elites. And they don't want you to solve problems. That's how come they don't, that's how come, you know, that's how come the problem is getting worse. Bottom line. Here we want to focus on strengthening the Black family because the problem starts at home. We want to work with single Black mothers and single Black fathers that's in the inner cities because that's where all the suffering is taking place. God has put me on this assignment for a reason, not to sit up here and for me to be mocked. That's why I'm trying to reach out to the global African family, African immigrants. Because I refuse to just sit up here and say, oh, well, hey, I can't find support. I have to leave it alone. No. Somebody has to do this. And since I have this technology that's, you know, on my side, and most of all, I have the Lord, I'm going to continue to do this until we are able to raise the funds for this film project and make our presence known in the African American community, starting in Chicago. Bottom line. All I can say is, for those of you that's listening and things like that, you could connect. You can send me a message through the comment section. They call it it's like a little chat. So you in the comment section leave a message, and then I can respond to you in real time. And if you want to come on the show, I will send you the link so you can get on camera with me and we can talk about the issues up front. But all I can say is this business that I'm trying to do is going to take a miracle. And that's what I'm putting my whole faith in and trust in the Lord, that he will connect me with the right people. Now, I want to also mention to my listeners that non-Black sympathizers are welcome to join us, but we want them to join us not as groups, but as individuals. Because we seen what happened with that affirmative action thing. Black people was fighting for all these other groups, and hey, we didn't benefit from affirmative action. All the other groups did. And none of those other groups were enslaved. It was our group, descendants of American slaves. It was our group that helped get African immigrants here in the United States, as well as Black Africans from the Caribbean and Latin America. So that's why I want to reach out to them. Over here, we're drama free. I don't do all that drama stuff. We want to heal from enslavement as well as the colonized mindset. Before we can fight against white supremacy, we have to heal mentally and learn how to get along. And so, yes, I am the face of the grassroots community activist movement. And I want to make sure that none of my members would never have to endure such foolishness that I have to endure just to try to do something positive in the African American community. I'm not looking for people to like me. I'm not doing this to be popular. I'm just doing this, generate capital in terms of trying to raise funds, because it takes capital to do things, to start a nonprofit as well as to start a for-profit. Bottom line. That's why I've written my revised book. Now, I can't make people buy my book. If it was up to me, everybody on my friends list would help me get that revised book on that bestsellers list. But again, this business, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, is about helping our youth, helping broken families in the inner cities, and trying to reconnect with our middle-class brothers and sisters, because they're the ones that have the means. And most of all, connect with our African immigrants here in the United States, starting here in Chicago. That's all I'm trying to do. In terms of spirituality, because this is spiritual, we have a spiritual component with this. That's between you and your maker. But we are going to emphasize that we want to work with our people that want to know more about the Lord. The spiritual component is there. And that's the most important component in the first place. So all I can say, yes, I don't understand why it has to be so long. I mean, but again, this is Willie Lynch in real time. So through our Black empowerment films, that's one of the benefits of being a member of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. Once we have that physical building and I have my management team in place, then we can begin hiring our youth from the community to be part of our Black empowerment films, to produce positive images. Not all that negativity. People know how bad it is. And they, people just don't care. We want to bring out the best. That's what we want to promote. And when we come to Africa, we want to help solve a lot of the social issues there. Like, for example, in West Africa, rolling blackouts and water infiltration. We want to solve that in exchange for citizenship. South Africa, yes, we want to help solve those rolling blackouts. All I know, I think they call it load sheddings, something like that. But anyway, when the electricity goes out. So we want to bring some type of technology that we're going to create through this Christian business to help solve those issues. Our first place in Africa will be South Africa, because they have a similar history that Black Americans had. They experienced apartheid, which is the same thing as Jim Crow. It's just another name. So we want to go there for our first African tour. Once we go over there, I am going to lead by example. I am going to apply for dual citizenship. So that way Africans on the African continent can take me serious. I'm not giving up my American citizenship, because it was my ancestors that helped build America through, that slave labor. But what I am going to do is try my best to connect the diaspora with continental Africans through this Christian business. And we're also going to do our second film project there. That would be entitled African Liberator. battle against the colonized mindset. So that would be the sequel. In GRCAM of Chicago, we want to be in a position not to be begging people for donations and all that stuff. That's fine and dandy. But we want to take the lead. So that way we can pass this business down to the next generation. So we want to do get into real estate so we can do community housing. So we want to get into maybe, like I would say, mixed housing, people, mixed income, basically. So middle class and working class people can have somewhere to stay. We will also create shelters for those that can't afford it in Africa. We're going to replicate what we do here in America, basically, too. So it'll be the same, similar. It'll be similar, but we're going to get into real estate here in America first. Because like I say, we want to build it here in America and expand it to the African continent, to those 10 African nations I just mentioned. So yes, housing, community housing. We also want to get into community grocery store, where we own our own grocery store, to feed the people. We also want to get into community health care, where we meet people's needs that have health issues. We want to not only offer that in the community, but we're going to own that through our for-profit side of the business. But again, I need brave and smart people on my management team to help me do this. Because again, I can't do all this stuff by myself. We will, part of GRCAM of Chicago would be a recreational center for our youth. And that would be under the nonprofit portion of it. And we're going to have a studio, a music studio, where we create our own music. We will also want to connect, I would say, Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs when we do our African tours. Black artists with African artists. So again, we can do that international trade and learn about each other's culture and strengthen our collective. Now, what makes my business different than other Black organizations? This is based on my experience. So all those that rejected my vision for the past 31 years, that's how come I'm going to do those mandatory orientation, so I can screen people out. I don't want people that's in there that's all about running games and trying to con artists, those type of people. Degenerates, like I say, no. Urban terrorists, no. We want to bring the best and the brightest to the African continents to solve those problems that's in Africa. And we want to do international trade, so that way we can help improve our inner city, starting here in Chicago. Now, if it expands to other cities, that's cool. But I've done what my creator has called me to do, and that is to build GRCAM of Chicago here in Chicago, in the United States of America, for credibility, starting here in Chicago. It's in God's word that, if a city rejects you, you're supposed to brush your feet off and go somewhere else. But here in America, it doesn't matter what inner city that you go to. Yes, a lot of people are leaving, a lot of Black people are leaving Chicago, but it doesn't matter where they go here in the United States of America. If they go to any inner cities, it's going to be the same issues. The violence might not be as violent here in Chicago, but it's still going to be violence. It's still going to be high unemployment, crime, drugs, gangs. So you can't hide from that. And all we're trying to do here is just trying to make the community as stable as possible. That's all. Like I say, I wanted, once God blessed me to get this business up and running here in the city of Chicago, I'm going to turn it over to qualified Black middle class professionals. And I want to take my skills to the African continent and work with Africans that want more out of life. That's all. And that's what I want to be remembered for, trying to do something, not some dude that's online just trying to, chase after celebrities and all that stuff. We don't do that over here. And it's going to be exciting and fun. Right now, I would say, yeah, it's a little boring because, hey, I mean, I'm limited. But I know that I'm trying to offer something positive. I want to build something. I want to help my racial group. I want to work with single Black mothers and single Black fathers that's going through a thing. Inflation is getting high. Well, it's already high. It's going to get higher. And Black America is going to get worse for you. Because I predict by 2050, if Black America don't embrace my vision and plan, then I'm going to say as a collective, Black America will become a permanent underclass here in the United States of America. Mark my words. 2050. I can go on and on, but again, thank you all for your time. I do want to mention some events that's coming up because, hey, I just have to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, none of my panelists showed up today. Like I say, life happens. But again, I do this every month, every last Saturday of the month until I'm able to raise the funds for our film project. August, please mark your calendars for August. I'm going to say August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm looking for, I would say, Black authors as well as Black entrepreneurs that's on my friends list or in my social groups to contact me through Facebook. Send me a message through inbox and let me know if you want to come on my platform to promote your book or promote your business. I'm going to try to get at least 9 people a day. So I'm letting people know up front. And again, this is why I do the video podcast now, because I'm documenting what I do. I'm not just on here just trying to sell my book and promote my film project. I give other people an opportunity to promote their things as well. And I'm going to do that in my real business too, GRCAM of Chicago. August 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The same thing. Also, August 17th, 18th, and 19th. And August 24th and the 25th. Again, I want at least 9 people for each of those days. If you're serious about coming on my show to promote your book or your business, make arrangements with me so you can come on here. Again, I want at least 9 people, and I give you about 5 to 10 minutes to promote your book or your business. Before I conclude my show for today, I want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you again, Lord, for allowing me to use this technology wisely. Have mercy, Lord, on, I would say, those that's full of Willie Lynch, Lord. Just give me the strength, Lord, to continue to do what you called me to do, Lord, so I can eventually, Lord, raise the capital to do this film project, Lord, to get our film on the big screen, our story, the grassroots community activist movement. For us, Lord, to be able to take the lead to solve the social issues at the grassroots level. Work with families in the inner cities, Lord, that's from broken homes, Lord. Give me the strength, Lord, to work with them, Lord, through this Christian business. And again, thank you for choosing me, Lord, to want to place it on my heart. You know, Lord, that if it was up to me, I would do other things. But this is why you put me on this planet. Thank you for letting me understand my assignment. Bless me with the resources. And if you don't mind, Lord, please speed up the process. Connect me with African immigrants here in the United States, Lord, that will work with me. So that way, Lord, I can bring the best of the diaspora to those African nations, Lord, that work with me here in America to help improve their economy, to make our presence known on those in each African nation that we visit, Lord, so we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. A lot of them are suffering. You blessed us, Lord, here in America to have the technology to do things, Lord. But yet, Lord, we're being treated as 3rd and 4th class citizens in the country that we were born in. So please just bless me, Lord, to connect with African immigrants to come forth to help me get my message out, Lord. And for us, Lord, to get this film project fully funded and made. Bless me, Lord, to hire qualified Black middle-class professionals and African immigrants that's going to work with me in making this Christian business effective and successful for years to come. I predict, Lord, year 23,000 that GRCAM, GRCAI of Chicago and GRCAI in different African nations and in the Caribbean and in Brazil will be fully up and running and will be an effective international Christian business. That's what I predict, Lord. But right now, just thank you for allowing me to, I say, sow the seeds, Lord. I can't make anyone on my friends list, Lord, purchase my revised book, purchase items from my virtual store, but give them the heart of flesh, Lord. And for those that think that this is a scam, Lord, please just move them out of my life, Lord, and just let them delete themselves off my friends list, Lord, and connect me with people that want to solve these issues as much as I want to solve them. so that way the next generation don't have to keep enduring this Willie Lynch mentality, in Jesus' name. Also, Lord, I'm just asking you, Lord, to provide a miracle for me, Lord. Connect me also, Lord, with non-Black sympathizers that don't have an issue to see a successful Black business emerging. But it takes capital. Let people understand I'm not on here just begging for donations. I have a revised book and I have my virtual store where people can buy the items or read the story themselves, because I wrote the vision and made it plain. But again, Lord, this is all I have: my revised book, my virtual store, and this film project. Breathe on, sneeze on it, Lord. That's all I ask you to do. Just sneeze. Touch these Black churches, Lord. Yes, it's sad that there's so much despair, a lot of agony, Lord, in the inner cities, and all those Black churches there, because they're all about themselves, trying to be seen and all that stuff. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't mind being behind the scenes, but I refuse to be ignored. That's how come I'm doing these video podcasts. And I stand on everything that I've written in my revised book, and I'm not going to let no man or woman on earth change that, the vision that you have given me. Have your way, Lord. And thank you again for this opportunity. Just give me strength, Lord, to work with unruly people, Lord. You know how I am. You know, I push people out of my life, Lord, and I have standards. And I want to run the Christian business the way I run my home, drama free. So with that being said, that's going to conclude our show for this evening. Take care, peace and blessings.